Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here this evening. We do begin with the postpartum health. Governor Spencer Cox declaring this month Utah Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month.
ABC4 Northern Utah correspondent Cade Gardner on Utah's Capitol Hill today, talking to lawmakers and advocates. So the question tonight, Cade, is what do they hope to see as a result of this declaration?
Well, simply put, they hope to see change. The declaration states that more than 50% of women in Utah report experiencing anxiety or depression during, before, or even after pregnancy. And a handful of lawmakers hope that this shines a light on the need to pass legislation that would address those needs.
He found me on the bathroom floor crying and telling him I wanted to die.
Heather Dopp is a mom. Her first pregnancy went smoothly, but during her second, she became suicidal.
There's a huge stigma around maternal mental health.
She says it doesn't always look like depression.
We have this case in Massachusetts where this mom just took the lives of her children. That is postpartum psychosis that went untreated, and it's 9 months postpartum that is still in the warning period.
I would say that helping maternal health also helps maternal mental health.
Representative Raymond Ward supports a couple bills that would focus on doing just that. House Bill 415 would require the Public Employees Benefit and Insurance Program to cover doula services. Bill sponsor Representative Ashley Matthews says this would give mothers another advocate during pregnancy.
Problems with maternal mental health affect more than just the individual. It affects the entire family.
Representative Rosemary Lesser's House Bill 85 would extend Medicaid coverage to pregnant women from 60 days post-birth to 1 year.
We recognize that the complications after childbirth extend for much longer than 60 days.
It would also expand coverage for mothers with a household income less than or equal to 200% of the federal poverty level.
Right now we're tied for last place, so we're not alone in last place, I guess, but we're sort of tied for last place with the lowest level of coverage amongst the states, and we can do better than that.
With help, you'll be well, and that's what we need moms to know, is with help, you'll be well. You're not a bad mom. You're not alone. It's so common, and there are resources.
According to the governor's declaration, from 2015 to 2016, 75% of maternal deaths in the state were associated with a current or prior mental health condition, and 95% of those deaths were preventable. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Cade. Well, dozens of people against the Utah grocery sales tax rallied at the Capitol to repeal it today. The group is called United Today, Stronger Tomorrow. They say food is a human right and Utahns are paying more for food than ever before. They say if lawmakers got rid of the grocery tax, it would help families feed their children. They even gave lawmakers food to help illustrate this point.
We're giving out cookies for those that are in support of eliminating the bill, and we're giving bread to those that aren't in support, but we do believe that everyone should eat, so everyone's getting something.
Everyone gets something. Well, they donated the extra loaves of bread to Crossroads Urban Center.
Turning now to a first look at the weather forecast and kind of a mild, more sunny day today.
Yeah, mild day on this Friday Eve, Alana.
Lots of sunshine, but still chilly out there. We've got that northwesterly flow, and you probably noticed it if you've stepped out. Below average temperatures. We're going to start in Utah County, where it's gorgeous. The sun's out there, a few high thin clouds. Icy on Utah Lake, temperatures sitting at 32 in Linden, and we've got that high that's moved into the state, and this ridge is building. Clear skies, so we don't see much in the way of cloud cover, and that northwesterly flow keeps us nice and chilly. 20s that have dropped to teens in Logan, below freezing in Ogden and Provo, 36 in Salt Lake, and low 50s in St. George at this hour. Now, those low 50s just slightly below average. They saw some gusty canyon winds down there in Washington County with that cold front passing through. Air quality actually looks really great. Pretty clean. We've got moderate air quality in Uinta County, and then we've got ozone issues in Duchesne County. But when it comes to particulate matter, this is amazing because our downslope winds coming from that cold front really cleared out the eastern side of the state. So we've finally managed to break the inversion where they have been ridiculously cold for the last several weeks. Tonight's forecast brings us down to the 20s with clear skies. It is going to be chilly. We're going to talk about when temperatures rebound and when to expect our next storm coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Glenn, over to you.
Thank you, Alana. In Utah County, concerns of a potentially toxic cloud forcing a building full of workers to evacuate. Last night, the Utah County Special Response Team made up of 16 local agencies responding to a hazmat call near 19th North and 3rd West in Spanish Fork. Crews determining the cloud was not toxic, but was caused by a machine inside the building that overheated to a temperature of more than 150 degrees. Hazmat crews also testing the air inside the building and finding it safe to allow workers back inside. Today, state lawmakers debating SB 156, a bill regulating police access to DNA and genealogy websites. The bill inspired by the 2010 murder of Sherry Black. 10 years later, police finding her suspected killer using a DNA sample from blood. Black's daughter, Heidi Miller, says she hopes a bill like this could help other families find answers. Others are worried about privacy.
And we just feel like this is so important to all those out there who have unsolved cases. It gives them hope and hopefully can help solve their cases and give them some peace, the peace that we've been able to find.
We think that people would be adverse to using these systems going forward if this bill passed.
Now, if that bill does pass, the only databases law enforcement would be able to access are those that have already given consent. Today, amendments to the bill were passed, but the final vote on the bill itself postponed until Monday.
And in national news now, a federal judge sentencing another January 6th rioter to prison today. Kevin Seafried of Delaware paraded a Confederate flag as one of the first people to get inside of the Capitol building. He also confronted the black Capitol Police officer, Eugene Goodman. Goodman says Seafried threatened and jabbed him with his flagpole. The U.S. District Court judge saying this racially charged encounter was a negative factor in his 3-year sentencing.
In an update tonight, the News Nation reporter who was arrested in Ohio yesterday released from jail. News Nation says its reporter, Evan Lambert, was going live during the governor's press conference on a train derailment when police told him to stop talking. Now, the governor was giving an update on the evacuation order near the site of the crash finally being lifted. The network says officers then pushed Lambert to the ground and took him into custody. The governor, though, saying this should not have happened.
This happens, we do this, I do this all the time, and so I'm certainly very, very sorry that happened. I don't know all the facts, but he or she, whoever was arrested, had every right to be reporting and do what they do every single day.
The arresting affidavit claiming Evan refused to leave when asked and that he was, quote, coming at a National Guard general who then pushed him away. That version of events, however, not seen on video. Evan was charged with criminal trespass and disorderly conduct.